DBA and functional consultant, then the technical consultant. As a developer, will work on the RiseW components, reports, interfaces, conversions, extension, and workflow development, and also prepare the three documents: MD17, MD120, TE20. MD70 is the technical design document, then MD120 is the code migration document, TE20 is the unit test cases document. So, and working on the ad hoc SQL queries. Then we came to know AIM, application implementation methodology. So this is Oracle methodology. Yeah? So in the market, we have the waterfall and agile methodology. So in that, we have to get the requirement from the client and to identify the gaps. Then functional consultant will prepare the FSD document and send it to technical team. The technical team will start to preparing the MD17 and get approval from the team leader manager. So once you get approval, then start the development. Then go with the unit testing. That means developer testing. Then we have to inform to the functional people. The functional people will start the functional testing. Then later prepare MD120 and send to DBA. The DBA will deploy the code to the test instance. Once the code been deployed to test instance, then inform to on-site guys. Those people will start the testing. If that is okay, that's a UA team. Then we'll deploy the code to the productions. Okay. Then at last, we'll work on the hypercare support. Then it will go to support project. Then types of project, we have the implementation, support or maintenance, then upgradation, rollout project. Implementation means it's from scratch. We're going to implement Oracle product to the client. Once implementation is completed, then the product will be moved to support or maintenance. When the client want to upgrade from lower version to higher versions, then we'll work in the upgradation project. A rollout means already we implemented for one operating unit or one country. We have to add that software to the another branch or another operating unit or another country. That's called as the rollout. The same software, maybe minor changes. Suppose we implemented software for the GE in US. I want same software for the GE Canada. That means most of the code is the same here, but maybe we have to add some extra changes related to the Canada operating unit. That's called as the rollout project. Then we came to know in the support project, some ticketing tools are there, like a ServiceNow, Jira, Bugzilla, Remedy. So while whenever that users raise the tickets, so they will use the ServiceNow. In that, they will mention the priority and the type of the ticket.
Recording in progress.
Enhancement and a new development. And coming to priority, we have the P1, P2, P3, P4. It's depending upon their urgency. Then we discussed the releases of the ERP. The latest is the 12.2.14. That is the latest in the market. So prior to that, we have the multiple versions. So out of that year, so 12.2 is the good in the market and 12.3 also. A number of clients implemented 12.3 and 12.4. Now most of the clients implementing with the 12.14. So prior to this, we have the 11i. In the 11i, the last version is 11.5.10.2. That is the last in the market. So most of the clients 12.2.14 or maybe some little less 12.2.13 also. So any queries still? So now we'll go to three-tier architecture. We'll discuss here what is the three-tier architecture. So as of now, you did practice on the SQL. That is the one tier only. That means always you guys were connecting to the DB tier. So last 2 months, you didn't connect it to the file server. You didn't connect it to the product, Oracle product, ERP product. Now, okay, today we'll see it. So we'll work on the three-tier architecture. We have the three layers. The topmost is called as it's Oracle applications product. Then we have the middle type, nothing but a Linux server. The least one is called as the DB type. So last 2 months you spent on this bottom one. That's a DB type. Then there is a integrity. There is a link between one layer to another layer. Right. The least one is called as the DB tier, nothing but a database. Database tier, we can call it as the backend tier. Backend tier. Then the middle one is called as the middle tier. Maybe we can call it as the application tier. Application tier, maybe we can call it as the file system. That means whenever you develop any code as a developer, part of our deliverables will keep that code in the Linux server. Okay, now so when you develop a .fmb or when you develop a .sql file or proc files or control file, we are going to keep in the middle tab. On top of that, it's called as the front end tab. Where you can call it as the application. So as a developers, daily we are going to connect it to the DB type. That's a mandatory here for developers or technical guys, or to create the tables and to insert the data or to develop a procedures, packages, and writing the triggers, whatever it may be. So as a developers, we are going to connect to the DB type using the SQL developer utility. With that, we are connecting to the DB type and doing the DML operations and writing the PL SQL. Okay, now so that's the DB type here. On top of that, we have the middle tier, nothing but application tier. We can call it as the Linux file system. So whenever you develop any files, so already we came to know, we discussed file types. Yes. So may you will develop a data scale file. May you will develop a data FMB, dot RDF, dot WFT workflow type, proc files, PLL, dot RTF, CTL. These many files will develop as part of the RISE W components development. When you develop any file, yeah, that normally will develop in our local machine, our laptop. So we have to move the file to Linux server, like a client system. So that's called as the middle type. Okay. Then on top of that, we have the front end tab, nothing but application. This you guys will log into front end tab to register the software. Suppose I developed one package. Once the development is completed, as a developer, you will log into front end tab and to create a program and to give the grant to end user. Give the grant to end user. The end user will log into the front end tab and they can submit a programs. Or maybe you developed one form. Then you will log into front end tab and register the form and give the access to the end user. Then end user will log into the front end tab and he can able to create the transactions. So the end users only connected to the front end tab are business users. They don't care about what is the middle tier and what is the DB tier. Where the data will store, it doesn't know. They don't care about that. Okay. As a developer, we should have access to the DB tier to develop a code like a database objects. We should have access to the middle tier to develop a data FMB, CTL, RDF, whatever the files we are going to develop. And we should have access to the front end tier. With the front end tier, finally, we are going to register the software. Whatever the code out of the RiseW components, everything we have to register in the Oracle applications and give the access to the end user or business users. Then only the business user can able to access that product. Okay, na? So the developer should have access to the DB tier. The developer should have access to the middle tier and the front end tier also. So coming to DBA guys, the DBA guys also will have access to the DB tier, middle tier, and front end tier. What about end users? End users have access to only front end tier. The end users doesn't have access to the middle tier and DB tier. End users are just only business users. They don't know about Oracle. Simply they are connecting to the product. Whatever the software we are going to develop, that software will access by the end user. That's it here. That means they can able to run the reports. They can able to create the transactions using some forms. That's it. The end user don't care about what is the table, what is the package. They don't know about that logic. What code inside of that software. Okay. So coming to functional people here, functional people like end users. Okay, na? They are most of the times they're connecting to the front end tier regarding some setups. So that's it here. So very rare case, the functional people will connect to the middle tier and the DB tier. Very rare case here. Okay. So most of the times they're using the front end tier regarding the some setups. We'll discuss later. What is the functional setups? Well, okay, we'll work on that. So this is about three-tier architecture. We have the DB tier, a middle tier, and application tier. Now here will I mention. And now we'll go to DB tier. DB tier means what is the DB? The thematic clients or maybe business users. That's right. Yeah. DB tier, that means a collection of database objects. Okay, example, a table, processor, a package, then the function, a trigger, next view, index, anything, any database objects. Okay, will create through the database, through the database. Okay, coming to tools here. Some important tools are there in the market to connect to the DB tier. One of the important tool is, you guys know that SQL developer. Daily we are using the SQL developer. May we can use the Toad also. Toad, may you can use the PL SQL developer. May you can use the SQL Starburst. These many consoles, these many tools are there in the market to connect to the DB tier. But most of the times we are using the best tool in the market is for Oracle apps case is the SQL developer. It's a free tool, but Toad is some license here. You have to spend around 2 to 3 lakhs. That's why okay, the developers will go with the SQL developer. Okay, but Toad we have a lot of flexibility is there, but cost wise, okay, the company won't bear that. That's why we'll go with the SQL developer. So now we came to know what is the DB type. Okay. Now we'll go to middle tier. Okay. Middle tier means it's a collection of files, whatever the files we are going to develop. Example, may you can develop a .fmb, may you can develop a .rdf, may you can develop a .ctl. Already we discussed this. May we can develop a .sql, may you can develop a .pll. Okay, na? May you can develop a .proc, .proc files. So whenever you develop any this type of files in your local machine, so we have to keep into the Linux server. So to access the middle tier, so we have multiple tools in the market. One of the tool is the WinSCP. WinSCP. The second one is called as the FileZilla. The third one is called as the Tor. So these many tools are available in the market to connect it to the Linux server. So our local machine is the Windows. Always our client system is the Windows, nothing but our laptop. So server is the Linux. So we have to move the files from our Windows OS to Linux OS. Then okay, then these many tools are there in the market to connect it to the Windows platform to the Linux platform, like a WinSCP or FileZilla, or maybe we can use the Toad. These many tools are there. Yeah. Okay. These tools we are calling it as the FTP tools. FTP tools. FTP means file transfer or protocol.
Protocol.
Okay. So, but in Oracle applications, we are not using the FTP, we are using the SFTP. It's a little smaller, secure. Okay. Secure SFTP, secure file transfer protocol. Don't use the FTP. Olden days, we were using the FTP. Now, most of the clients are going okay, upgrading to the SFTP, secure file transfer protocol. Okay, some encrypted something here. Forget about that. So we came to know what is the DB tier, and we came to know what is the middle tier and how to connect to the middle tier. So those tools we're calling it as the FTP tools, file transfer protocol. Coming to FTP, we have these many tools in the market: WinSCP, FileZilla, and Toad. So out of that, here, the best tool is the WinSCP. The best. Coming to DB, The best tool is the SQL developer. Coming to middle tier, the best tool is the Windows API. As a developer, most of the developers will prefer to go with the Windows API. Next, application tab. Nothing but a front end. That means log into ERP. Log into ERP product. So, okay, it's nothing but a collection of, okay, it's a Oracle Labs product and a collection of users and their responsibilities. Later we'll discuss what is that. As of now, just I'm giving high level word. We'll discuss what is the user and what is the responsibility. So, okay, here tools. So tools, okay, now we have the I.E. Nothing but Internet Explorer. May you can use the Mozilla. May we can use the Google Chrome. Okay, so this many tools. Separate tool is not required here to connect to the front end using the browser. I think you know browser tools like Internet Explorer or Mozilla or Google Chrome. We will connect it to the Oracle applications. But before that here, we have to install the Java. That's mandatory. Java software is required. So once we have to install the Java, then only the IE, Mozilla, Google Chrome will support. Otherwise, it won't support. Okay. So we have to raise the ticket to get the Java software. Okay. So as a developer here, may you will connect to the SQL developer to connect to the DB type. May you will log into Windows API to transfer the files to Linux server. And may you can connect to the front end tier using the Internet Explorer. Out of that here, the best tool is the IE, Internet Explorer. So please go with this here. So most of the times use the SQL developer for database practice. For coming to Windows CP, please go with the Windows CP tool. Coming to front end login, the best tool is the IE, Internet Explorer. Okay. So now yeah, already okay na, you're very good with the backend type. So you guys are connected to the DB type. So today we'll see how to connect to the DB tier and how to connect it to the middle tier, nothing but a Linux server, and how to open the product, Oracle applications product. That's nothing but a front end tier. We'll discuss today. Yeah. First one here. So we'll discuss how to connect to the DB tier. So to tell me here, మీరు చెప్పండి నాకు ఎలా కనెక్ట్ అవుతున్నారో. మీరు చెప్పాలి నాకు హౌ టు కనెక్ట్ టు ద డీబీ టైర్. Okay, okay. So we have to go to RDP, remote desktop connection. So I'm using the Barbaro connection, then click on connect the button. Okay. So now, okay, I'm logging. Okay, here we have to open the SQL developer. Just to open the SQL developer. Yeah. So forget about Barbaro machine. Yeah. So already, okay, na, he did, okay, na, some setup. So that's why by default, without adding any entities, we are connecting to the database. But in the real time, once you open the SQL, look into my screen carefully. Once you guys connect to the SQL developer, there is a left pan is there. Here you won't see any connections. I'm deleting this. This is important. Okay, you have to, okay, you won't see anything in the connections. So in real time, once you install the SQL developer, you won't see any connections. Even you click on the worksheet, you won't see anything blank. Okay, so we have to add connections here. So once you have to install the SQL developer, then click on the, okay, it's a new connection. Click on the plus button to add to, that means adding the new database. Just to click on the plus button, then okay, it will ask us some details like a username, a password, the host name, listen here, it's a host name, then port number, SID or service name, any one of the value. This all together, we are calling it as the TNS names. TNS names, nothing but a transparent network substrate. Forget about that. What is that? Simply you can say TNS names. Keep that word in your mind here. So once you install the software, SQL developer, immediately you have to ping it to your team leader. Hey, can you share the TNS names? That's important here. Within 1 or 2 days, once you get the laptop, once you install the software, immediately ping it to your team leader. Otherwise, it will go to escalation. వాడు పక్క రైజ్ చేస్తాడు నీ మీద వాడు. సో ప్లీజ్ షేర్ ద టిఎన్ఎస్ నేమ్స్. దెన్ హీ విల్ షేర్ యర్. ఓకేనా, లైక్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ జిఎల్ఓ డాట్ డెవ్ డాట్ ఐఎమ్ గివింగ్ వన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. జిఎల్ఓ డాట్ డెవ్ డాట్ కామ్ 1521 విస్ దెన్ యాప్స్. ఐఎమ్ గివింగ్ స్మాల్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ యర్. ఓకేనా, ఇన్ రియల్ టైమ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎ డిఫరెంట్. ఓకే, దిస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ ద టిఎన్ఎస్ నేమ్స్. So this is the host name, nothing but a server name. This is the database name, like a dev test UAT production. In Barbara machine, there is no dev test, only Wiz. Okay, in real time, you won't see the Wiz. You could see instead of the Wiz, you could see the development test UAT SIT production. Then the database username and the password. You will ping these values. So once okay, your team lead respond, then go to okay, SQL developer. Then, okay, now tell me what is the host? glo.dev.com. This is the host name, nothing but our database server name. Then port number 1521. Then SID is the WIS. SID is the WIS. So in real time, you won't see the WIS. Instead of the WIS, you have to enter the dev, or maybe we have to enter the test, or maybe we have to enter the SIT like that. So don't use the Wiz in real time. Okay, it won't work out. Wiz, then username is the apps, the password is the apps. Then okay, I don't want to enter daily. Just to check the checkbox, save password. So tomorrow, okay, I don't want to enter the password again. Yeah, okay, it will save the password. Then give some alias name, Wiz. And that's your choice, sir. I'm putting my own name, Wiz underscore Ramo, whatever it may be. So name is the alias. It's a free text. You can give anything. But normally here, as a developers, what I will do, whatever the service name is there, the same service name will enter in the base just for readability purpose. Like to know whether it's a development or test or production databases. In real time, we have to add multiple. As of now, I'm adding only one, just for our practice purpose. In real time, we have to add two, three, four, maybe a number of databases we have to add. But whatever the databases we have, but we are using only one, that is called as the development. In the development only, we have the rights to create the DML or DDL, whatever the operations. For remaining higher instances, like a test to UAT production, so we do not have any uh, access to create the tables or maybe insert the table. Only read only permissions. Okay, then what we have to do, once you add these many things, you have to click on the connect button, sorry, test button. Yeah, right now the status is the blank. You could see status is the blank. Click on the test button. Okay, now the status is the success. So here I'm doing small wrong here. Instead of the 1521, I'm by mistake enter the 1522. Then click on the test button. Then it will throw the error. Some network adapter is not established. Okay, so you have to check the okay again those values properly here. If you enter something wrong, you have to correct that one. Otherwise, sometimes your team lead may ping wrong values. That is possible. Okay, by mistake, the team lead will share the wrong one. You have to again cross check with the team leader. So finally, so once test that means status is a success, then click on the save button. I don't want to enter daily here. Then click on the save button. Once you click on the save button, now you could see a new connection. Now I'm clicking on the save button. Okay, then new connection added to my database. So tomorrow onwards, I don't want to add this many things, this many TNS names daily. Simply I will go to okay this one, then go to worksheet, then click on the wish. Then automatically the new connection will establish. Okay. So now tell me here to connect it to the database. So what are the things I need to take care? Anybody? నేను ఒక డేటాబేస్ కనెక్ట్ చేయాలంటే యాజ్ అ డెవలపర్గా కొత్త ప్రాజెక్ట్లో నేను ఏమేమి చేయాలి మీరు చెప్పండి.
Connect to remote desktop.
Install the SQL developer.
First year, install the first step. Install the first get a laptop. Correct? Na? Get the client laptop. Next, install
SQL developer.
SQL developer. Next,
Request
Select the
DNS
RDP.
names.
RDP or VPN or Citrix. Is that right word? Any one of the connectivity. Is that right?
Yes.
We should get access to the RDP, or we should get access to the VPN, or we should get access to the Citrix. Any one of the connectivity is required. Next, next,
Request
Download
DNS
SQL.
names.
sorry, yeah, sorry. We'll reverse this one. This is the right sequence. No, okay. The third point.
Connect
Sorry,
RDP.
fourth point. Add, no. Add TNS names. Correct, na? What is the meaning of the TNS? Transparent network substrate. Hey, forget about it. What is the? It's related to DBA, guys. This is not okay our task here. Just you have to ping it to our team lead or DBA. Those guys will share the TNS names. Okay, na? Then check. That check connectivity. That's it. So as a developer, these many checks are there. Okay, na, to connect to the database. First, we have to get the laptop. Then you have to check with your counterpart, like a team leader or manager, how to connect to the client network. Then install SQL developer. Then add TNS names. So how you will get the TNS names?
From TL.
From the TL. That's the right word. Then at last we have to check the connectivity, whether it is working or not. Okay. So these many things we have to do to connect it to the DB tag. So then we are good on that. Okay. Na? So ఇప్పుడు మీరు చెప్పండి. So I'm removing this connection. Yes, I'm removing, yeah. Delete. So please tell me here how to add a new TNS names. I'm closing the SQL developer also. So please help me here. First open SQL developer.
SQL.
SQL developer.
Okay, what should I do
Click on
next?
plus symbol.
Click on
Plus symbol.
click on new connections. Okay, now good here. Okay, next. Then enter the host name. So Baburao machine here, please use you guys also glvo.dev.com. So I think some guys may install from the Nagaraj, I think so. Is that right? ఎవరైనా ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకున్నారా నాగరాజ్ దగ్గర?
Yes, sir. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes.
But exactly I don't know. We'll see. Okay, try with this. Otherwise, okay, I will give the workaround. Okay, glvo.dev.com. Port number is the 1521. SID, session ID is the VIS. In real time here, don't enter the VIS. You have to get these values from your team leader. Then username, apps, the password is the apps. In real time, it should be some different. Okay, na? Some strength password here. You won't say apps. Then check save password checkbox. Then give some alias name like a VIS. So maybe if you want, you can give with underscore Ramo, whatever it may be, as your choice, sir. But better go with the same as the SID name. Then uh, that one thing here, no one will tell that. But earlier days, they're giving the proper. I will give that here. Earlier days, how they're sharing that. 1 minute. I will go to Google and I will let you know. TNS names format. అది వాళ్ళు ఎలా ఇచ్చేవాళ్ళు నేను చెప్తాను మీకు ఒక ఐడియా ఉంటుంది. This one, correct. Here could say in my okay na Google Chrome. Earlier the DB are sending the mail like this. Where it is? This one. ఇలా పంపించేవాళ్ళు. So now what the team lead is doing? Instead of sending this entire value, they're simply sending the host name, port number. Then here you could say service name or SID. The word is there. Okay, now with that you will come to know which one, whether it's the SID or service name. So nowadays here the team lead is not sending like that. Simply they are okay na sending the host name, port number. Then they won't say whether it's a SID or okay na service name. But as a developer, what should I do? First to try with the SID. Then click on the test. If it is not working, what I have to do next? Check the
Service name.
R&D చేయండి మీరు, ఏం కాదు. ఇట్ వోంట్ టేక్ మచ్ టైం, 1 or 2 minutes ఎక్స్ట్రా టైం, దట్స్ ఇట్. ఎస్ఐడి వర్క్ కాలేదనుకోండి, దెన్ గో విత్ ద సర్వీస్ నేమ్, దెన్ క్లిక్ ఆన్ ద టెస్ట్ బటన్. మీకు తెలిసిపోతుంది ఆటోమేటిక్. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ వర్క్ అవుతుందిలే అండి, బికాస్ ఇన్ బాబురావ్ మెషిన్ సర్వర్ నేమ్ అండ్ ఎస్ఐడి బోత్ ఆర్ సేమ్, బట్ ఇన్ ద రియల్ టైమ్ ఇట్ వుడ్ బి డిఫరెంట్. ఓకే, సో it won't work out. Pakka I'm saying, yeah, SID is a different, service name is a different in real time, but in the Babu machine, it's everything is in the single server. Okay, that's it. That's why it is working. Yeah. Then okay, now take that. Then at last click on the test button to check the status. If it is a success, then immediately click on the save button. So please note down. Yeah. Okay. How to add TNS names? Please take note. How to add TNS names? Please note down. First, go to remote desktop. Go to remote desktop. Go to remote desktop. Go to remote desktop. Okay, next. Open SQL Developer. Open SQL Developer. Go to remote desktop. Next, open SQL Developer. Open SQL Developer. Next, click on New Connection. 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 Please, host name glbo.dev.com. Host name glbo.dev.com. Host name glbo.dev.com. This is applicable only in the Babu machines, not in your client systems later. glbo.dev.com. Next, port number 1521. Port number 1521. Port number 1521. Port number 1521. Next, SID WIS, VIS. SID WIS. SID WIS. SID WIS. Next, username APPS apps. Username APPS. Username APPS. Password APPS. Password also apps. Username apps. Password apps. Next, check save password checkbox or select save password checkbox. Select save password checkbox. Name WIS. It's a free text here. You can give any value, no problem. But give some meaningful. Name WIS. Nothing but alias name. For this entire TNS names informations, we are putting some alias name. WIS. Next, click on test button. Click on test button. and check status. Click on test button and check status. Next, at last, click on save button. Click on save button. Click on save button. Okay. Click on cancel. Click on save button. Click on cancel. Now, next, click on SQL worksheet. I think you know this. Under the tools, we have the worksheet. Click on SQL worksheet. Select to WIS. Click on SQL worksheet. Click on WIS. Click on WIS.